Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Hasbro Marvel Shields 3-pack, the Captain America 3-pack with Dum Dum Dugan, Nick Fury Jr., and Sharon Carter. So there it is. As many of you may understand, I do collect some Marvel Legends, mostly for small little spots of characters that I like, but I'm a big fan of taking these figures, these Shield figures, Hydra figures, Valaverse figures, and I turn them into my Serpentor's army, the Coil, because anyone that really knows anything about me, Cobra Commander is the leader of Cobra. Serpentor, he has to have his own army, and it's the Coil for me. And I think these figures look awesome. The color also matches a lot of the Gridiron stuff, so let's say you want to do custom actual Cobra figures, maybe with white from like medics maybe, or do a little bit of paint, make this all black, or take it off and throw a Gridiron overlay over it. And then we have the Sharon Carter, which I believe the buck is the exact same as the Target exclusive Black Widow, which is one of the best figures I've ever had. I have it sitting right over there in a sniping position. So we're going to take a look at this figure, take a look at these figures, everything they come with. You can choose if you want to use them for your Marvel Shields, whatever, Captain America, or you want to use them for something different, see how the bucks look. We'll compare them to the old bucks, which are right there, and then go from there. But anyway, here is the box of it. I think the figures look really good, and you can tell right away that the bucks, these figures are bulkier, which is good. There we have the side shot of it. We have, I'm assuming this is Nick Fury Sr. This is when he was still white, also known as the Baywatch guy, Dum Dum Dugan, and Sharon Carter, right? And then on the back, we just have little pictures, and you would cut them out and do whatever you want with it. But I think you guys have looked at me long enough. Let's take a look at everything that this thing comes with, decide if you think that it's worth a $75 price point, and then go from there. But before we do, if you like this type of content, if you like Marvel Legends stuff that I've been giving you, and you can see Cable sitting right there, take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, so you'll be notified every time I drop something like this. All right, so figures are out, and we'll quickly just look at, we got Sharon Carter here. Like I said, I believe this is the exact same buck that's sitting right up there. And then we have these two figures, which look like they are very similar molds. We'll take a look at them closer when we get to it. But again, I like to use these for different either Cobra operatives or my Serpentor troops, and you can use them for whatever you want because remember, they're your toys. But let's look at the accessories first. And they both come with this M4 style rifle. Now this is the same one that comes with this Winter Soldier with the really long gangly legs they really need to redo. Same rifle. It is not a bad rifle, to be honest. A little small in many ways, but I love the paint apps on it here. You got the silver magazine, stock on the back that's silver, the light that is painted. And then when you put this up here, it's a little warped. It is really, really rubbery. All right, it does have a port for blast effects, but they're not too bad. One of the biggest issues when it comes to weapons like this, if you have them holding the rifle, like I have him here, it'll actually start to press, it pushes against them, so it actually warps the weapon. So you really have to work their arms into making sure their arms are set where they're supposed to be. All right, now these guys come with the same weapons. He comes with one additional weapon. So you get this weapon and this pistol. So you get two of each of these. Now these both come with the Winter Soldier. I actually have it here in Beachhead. That's why I have them up here. So you can see it actually fits in the original Beachhead's holster here. I actually really like the look of this. All right. I just think it looks pretty badass. And then the silver tip here, which is the suppressor. You got the port for blast effects. It really pops. So a little warpature to it. Again, something you can take care of. Something we shouldn't have to. But again, it is very rubbery. All right. And this one, that one's a little bit straighter. Pistols seem to come out a little bit better. So the Warperature isn't always that bad there. But again, just the silver paint, I think it adds so much to it. All right. And then you have Dum Dum's weapon. I swear I look at this and I think of some sort of Star Wars weapon. I want to say Lobot had something that looked very similar to this. All silver, almost translucent, to be honest. I know somebody could yell at me and say it's not translucent. It's just the look of it. Looks like it could easily peer through. Port for blast effects. And then we have the same weapons that came with the Black Widow. I hate these weapons. They look awful. They don't look anything realistic or cool in my opinion, but hey. And I think this color makes them even look worse. So if you have Black Widow, you can maybe use this to kind of spice it up a little bit. Or vice versa. Maybe you want to throw these on your Black Widow and use it that way. They both come with their knives. All right, both males come with knives. An assortment of hands. Ooh, boy. Assortment of hands that we'll get into, but what we do have is some blast effects, smoke effects. So same smoke effects that we did get with other figures. Black Widow is one of them. And they should pour it in really nicely because it is soft. Or maybe they don't. Now, what I do like about these is they're a darker smoke effect, where these ones here, probably should have pulled them out of the bag here, are very clear. So it's more like a clear smoke. This is more like a dusty smoke. So maybe it's a dirty type bullet. Again, someone's going to say there's no such thing. But again, we're talking about toys here. It gives you different effects when you are playing around with your toys. So, and I would say they should all fit. Being the fact that these things are so rubbery, aren't always the best there. But that actually looks pretty cool, to be honest. And then you have what? Let's see. How many of these? 6 little smoke effects. So, a lot for a lot of your figures. You have these little blast effects, which I really don't mind, to be honest. They're not as detailed as some other ones. I think the G.I. Joe ones, most of them are pretty lame, to be honest. They don't look that good. I think Valaverse makes still the best ones for the price that you're paying for it. But I think these actually look pretty good. It's just giving you a small little blast. There's not too much to it. They fit in pretty nicely. And for some odd reason, Sharon Carter comes with P Mountain Dew colored ones. But hey, you do you. All right. So let's push all this stuff to the side here. As we can see, we got a lot of stuff. Now we'll get to the hands. And we'll take a look at the Sharon Carter hands first. So she comes with a trigger finger here. 2 trigger fingers. On her are her 2 fists. So she's able to fight. She also comes with her superhero landing hands, or Spider-Man hands, but I don't think she's Spider-Man. So you can do what you want with. They're the same hands that came with this Black Widow. So you're seeing that there's a lot of crossover between this Black Widow and this figure. In my opinion, that Black Widow figure right up there is such a good figure. I don't care if this is the same buck, because you should be really happy with it. All right. As for the males, they come with the exact same hands. So they both get their, I don't know, bang bang hands. This is great for if you need a Mick Foley bang bang hand. You got it right here. You got some trigger fingers, more trigger fingers, and open hands. Now again, I don't have a problem with having multiple hands just across the line, because that's what they're going to use. They're just white. And we'll kind of mix and match some stuff. So quickly, let's take a look at Dum Dum here. All right, so hat does not come off. It is molded on, so you're not going to be able to take that thing off. The paint apps look pretty good. Nice little mustache there, nice sideburns, some very nice blue eyes. Looking straight, paint all seems to be on properly, which I know we shouldn't have to say that, but the fact is we actually do. You can see where they even hit it with a little bit of paint, it looks like. So for the zipper here, so you can just kind of grab it, it's a ring, pull it straight down. That is a nice detail. Now this is not, okay, so the vest is not molded on, but it is keyed in there. So that's unfortunate, because if I want to take this off and I want to do my hot, you know, my heat and hot pop and swap, I can't just take this off. And it's disappointing that, you know, like it's all keyed in there. And it looks like I actually would have to probably cut this thing off. So let's say I ordered a gridiron vest. I want to make a Cobra, you know, a Cobra Medic. I'm gonna have to cut this off. It's gonna have these divots in it, and if the overlay doesn't go completely over it, it might not hide it. So that's disappointing that they did that. I don't know why they would, but you look at the belt buckles. That all looks good. A molded in gun. That is something Tony's face absolutely hates. You have his gauntlets that obviously have some sort of digital readout. I think that's a nice look to it. You got your straps here. Your belt buckle. A bunch of little pouches. Now bags that will upset people if you call them bags. But you got pouches that run along the belt. And then you have his holster here. Now this holster, I'm going to assume will probably holster this weapon. Yes. But I would assume a lot of people, and I don't know anything about this character, they're going to want him to have this. So either one fits in there perfectly fine. This fits him much snugger. Now, if you do throw in something like this, the one issue that you have, and I have some Joe figures that have the same issue, is that when the magazine sticks out, and I love the extended magazine look, it doesn't look good on a figure that has it holstered. All right. Legs, there's really nothing to it. It's more of a skin-tight outfit. Same with the abs. And then you get down to the boots. So let's take a look at the articulation. No heat has been used on this figure yet. So there you get your T-pose. He can only look up so far there and look down. You got your bicep swivel. Double pinless elbows, which is nice. We should all be getting to that point. There's your ab crunch. Go back. Side to side. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Not a great one, but also not absolutely awful. There are no drop-down hips, so you're not going to be able to get that full Jean-Claude the way these are designed. Thigh cut. Knees, no problem. The boot cut, which is hidden right up here, which I love. And then obviously you have your ankle rocker. So let's pop off some of these hands here. Now, you do have the shield here. If you're going to use it as a Cobra Trooper, you know, you're going to want to remove this. I removed them on these figures, all right? And all you need, and you got to find the right stuff, is this Windsor and Newton here. Everyone went boom. So there is your Windsor and Newton. You want this one. So take a screenshot of this. This is what you look for. There is a new bottle out there. It is a new formula. It does not work properly. You want to make sure that you get this one because they have discontinued it. Find it. Hold on to it. It removes a lot of paint. Super easy. Does not affect the plastic. I know people were about to say nail polish remover, which is acetone, but from what I understand, I am not a customizer, so I will not, I won't comment on that. But from what I am told, if you don't remove it really quickly, it will melt the plastic. that's what you want to do, go for it. But if you can get this stuff here, it is absolutely awesome for removing most paint. It won't remove all of it, so don't get mad at me if it doesn't. All right, hands come out nice and easy. So let's throw a trigger finger in here. I'm just going to make him right-handed, because guess what? If you make him left-handed, that thing's definitely going to be in the way. So now, I'll take his rifle. Let's see how well we can get him into a shooting pose and how quickly how long it takes. Now, these rifles do seem kind of small, but that's how a lot of the M4s are. Glad we got multiple trigger fingers for this. So when you are trying to pose figures, I know there are some brands that give you a cup like this. I would rather pull the hands out like this, so it actually will grab the rifle, right? And it actually looks like he's holding it. So quickly, I didn't have any problem getting him into a shooting position. Let's throw one of these guns, and we'll give him his Dum Dum gun. Actually, I don't even know. That may go to Nick Fury for all I know. All right, and someone's like, "Oh my God, you know nothing about Marvel Legends," and you're like, "I don't. I said that at the beginning. I am looking at an action figure." So how well do they stand? Oh, have no issues there. Just getting them in a quick firing position. If anyone knows anything about me, I do not like stands. I don't use stands if I don't need to. They are, they're awful. They look awful in your display, especially if you have action scenes. All right, let's take a look at this Nick Fury. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is his head. So this is, you know, based off of Samuel L. Jackson. So there you go, taking a look at him. Nice patch. You can see the where the eye was hurt. I don't know how else to put it, but it really looks like what it did in the Avengers movie. So you have the scarring all around it. Man, this face sculpt is badass. All right, I'm just gonna say this face sculpt is badass. It does kind of look like he's looking he's looking up. All right, so no problem getting him in a sniper position, considering his eye looks like he's looking up. So that would be my first, I guess, a little complaint. It should be looking a little bit straighter, but I think we'll get over that. But now I can't not see it looking up. His goatee looks really good, and again, here we have the same hook, and you can see this one standing out a little bit more. Now, if I am correct, let's see. Nope. It looks like they are the exact same bucks. All right. So they're running on the same buck. Oh, they both do have butterfly joints. We'll actually see if those butterfly joints actually work. His are hidden. So, but the indenture here runs along the exact same path. So if you were to cut them off, maybe they're the same buck. Huh. It's hard to tell. Without cutting this off, I'm not about to do that. So anyway, but either way, they did make two different looking figures. So what we have here is the harness that goes over it. Again, a non-removable weapon here. This is something Tony's Fake's gonna hate. What's funny is that he was literally just calling me as I was explaining this. So, but you got the belt straps here, the belt buckles. I like the way this belt looks. You got all the pouches on here. You can see where it's supposed to connect on both spots. So we have the same gauntlets here, same boots. So this guy's going to articulate the exact same way. Now, what we do have here is you can see the butterfly joint. Now, I have had a lot of issues with butterfly joints, and not so much issues with them, but they just don't work. So butterfly joints are really good for either holding a pistol and firing this way, or holding swords. This one works. Looks like it articulates a little bit more than the Hasbro G.I. Joes, but I'm not sure if it still goes all the way. You're going to have to definitely bend a little bit more. But I think you can work it out. All right. So we'll take a look at his quick articulation. Head turns back and forth. Gets a really good neck look up. I don't know. It must be the head sculpt of this Dum Dum here. But look how much he goes down, up. So this has the exact same articulation because it's the same figures. I'm not going to go through it all again. But it is nice and smooth. Nothing feels soft. What I like is looking at the legs here quickly. Well, a lot of these figures came with these bowed legs, these bowed out legs. So it made them hard to stand. This figure had the bowed leg. My Hydra figure over here had the bowed leg. The one in the back was perfectly fine. So quickly, let's pop off a head here. All right. And we can quickly take a look at that dumbbell. This is the old style that Hasbro was using. And we can pop on this Nick Fury. So Nick Fury Senior, I'm assuming. Because if you got Junior, then you have to have Senior, right? So they put the paint all the way up. So you don't have to worry about a different color in the neck. Unlike him right here. So actually, it looks like it might just be paint. The Dum Dum is a thicker buck. All right, looking at that, Dum Dum is definitely a thicker body. So everything that I said about, I think they're the same buck, the body is a little bit different because he's a thicker buck, and that's fine. So quickly looking at this head, all right, so what we have here is the head lifeguard over at Baywatch. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just go look it up. So he can look up here and look down like that. The hair looks absolutely awesome. The gray in it may be a little too perfect, almost like it was cut that way. But for the most part, I think it looks good. And I like the fact that you can see the strap that runs right through his, looks through his hair for his eye patch. Now, he seems to be looking, oh damn it, he looks like he's looking up too. Maybe it's just the camera. Maybe it's just the damn camera. No, it looks like he's looking up. I don't know. It might be the camera in some ways. When I look over the camera, it does look like he's looking up a little, but it's not bad, all right? The 5 o'clock shadow, I think that Hasbro has started to do a really good job with getting these 5 o'clock shadows. I've seen it with some of the Joe figures. I'm seeing it here with the Marvel Legends. I think I saw it with the Joes. Cable has a really good 5 o'clock shadow also there. So they're getting really good with their inkjet printers and how they do this stuff. But the lips on this thing, again, this is a really, really good looking figure. All right. So let's go ahead and get him into a different firing position. We'll use a handgun for this guy because we can already see how that works. Oh my gosh. All right. So if I can find a trigger finger, we're definitely going to throw in the extended magazine right there. All right, and get rid of that fist. I'm going to use this open hand here. And what we can kind of do is, this is how you want, I've had people ask before, this is how you want the butterfly. This is the butterfly, if anyone is wondering. That's your butterfly, right? When you're firing a pistol, especially straight forward, you want it to be like so. All right, straighten it out. Taking a little bit longer than normal because I just want to see how it works. Because unfortunately, I don't think most of the Joes that I reviewed, work. I think the Valaverse figures are really the best ones, and they have a C-cupped hand. But this hand looks really good with that. So I'm just gonna kind of pop him here. you have to pose a little bit longer. I want us to take too much time because I also have Sharon Carter to go over. But I can get this. So there we go. It doesn't look bad. I'm gonna have to work with that a little bit more. But if it had a better butterfly, and maybe this is just what's obstructing it, his arms would go completely over and kind of stay where they're supposed to. So take this little blast effect and we'll make it look like he is shooting. But again, part of the reason of having a suppressor is so you don't see a muzzle flash, from what I understand. So let's throw this over here. Oh wait, the other thing that I wanted to see was, let's say we take this figure, let's say you get a couple of these. The question is, can I use this shield agent here? Do they have the same ball joint? It looks like it. The neck might be a little different. So the question is, how does it work? So he kind of has a long neck, if this is what you're wondering. It's not awful. I guess you could kind of get away with it. We could take this guy, which I believe is actually one of the shield agents to begin with. And we could pop it on here. Again, due to how the neck is and how deep the head goes onto it, it just makes them look like you have a long neck. I don't know why these aren't things that they don't consider. Why don't they take this type of stuff in consideration? And I mean, you're creating a world. You don't have to make it work with, you know, G.I. Joe. You don't have to make it work with Valaverse or any other type of... But you really should make it work with your own. So we're going to leave the Samuel L. Jackson head on here. I know we're going on a little bit longer. I appreciate that you guys are all still sticking around. Thank you very much. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe. This is how I like to do this stuff. I want to show you everything that you're going to get. So here we have our Sharon Carter. I absolutely hate the black. I think that looks stupid. All right. And here we have the Black Widow. And I quickly looked at them through the plastic before I opened her up. And it looks like they're the same mold. All right. So if you look at it here, you have the zipper right there and her breastises, the same diaphragm cut. Everything looks like it's the same, down to the boots. So her feet are different. Now I just don't like it. I don't like I don't know if white would have looked better. I just don't like the way this looks. But that is different. Hopefully that doesn't affect any of the articulation. All right, and then you get the back. Now, obviously, they gave her the holster, which I do like. Probably better than this, but this might obstruct some of the articulation. Now, there's another reason why I really like this figure. Is I'm going in on Monster Force. Now, if you don't know what Monster Force is, it is by Fresh Monkey Fiction. There's a whole bunch of monsters and Van Helsing, Dracula, and all kinds of things turned into military style. But one thing we're not going to get is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I was trying to think of what would be a good custom to do. I thought about a Scarlet. And then I get this, and I'm like, oh, here we have a blonde that we're going to basically turn into a vampire hunter, or vampire slayer, I guess. But she also fights all kinds of different things. So this might be a good fit for Monster Force when it comes out as a Buffy fill-in. All right, so quickly, we'll take a look at this here. This is the long hair. All right, she's got some nice lips there. A little too much on the makeup, in my opinion, but piercing blue eyes. Got the big eyebrows. Now, if this figure is anything like this one, I'm going to absolutely love it. So we'll pop this off here quickly, and we'll throw on the Bridget Nielsen head, okay? I don't really like this head. I actually think this head looks awful just by looking at it. Again, way too much makeup. But it's in a bun in the back there. The hair looks really nice. Same with the hair on this one. And it makes me wonder. No, it looks like they're all different hairstyles. So, but you're probably asking, hey, what if I take this figure or this, which if you have the original classified Scarlet, this makes it awesome head swap. So, you want to make your Black Widow into white, there you go. No issues, you can just pop that on there. And obviously, you can make Sharon Carter in the black outfit if you so wish to. But we're not doing that. I just want to show you. I go off the rails on a lot of things, if you didn't realize yet. So, this head here, hey, Spider-Man, you just took out a couple guys. They're on your team, too. All right, so, she can look up that much, and she can look down. And I feel like they should get more motion out of that. She can look down that much. She can look up that much. I knew there was something that wasn't right there because this one gets a good amount of motion. Good range of motion. Here we have her T-pose, bicep swivel, pinless double elbows. If I can get those things over. She does have the butterfly joints, which, see how those butterfly joints work there? See how our hands cross over for the most part there? They seem to cross over better a second ago. So she's going to hold something here. It's going to hold nice and tight there like a sword. Diaphragm cut. Now, she really should get the Jean-Claude Van Damme as being the most, as a super articulated buck that they have, but they don't do drop-down hips. Thigh swivel, everything is really smooth on this figure, everything. And then your ankle also. Now, this figure here, I can tell you right away, you can get into some really, really good poses. Let's throw on because for the most part, she can go down. That's what she said. Pretty far. Look up. And she will stay in place for the most part once you start moving her around. Not doing a good job of presenting that, am I? Now, before anyone says, well, didn't that Black Widow just fall off? Well, this is also on an angle, so the fact that she stayed up there that long is kind of shocking. Okay, so not doing a really good job of showing how posable she is, but she is. All right, so let's grab a gun for her so we can kind of wrap this up. Again, what I am mentioning, I like this idea. I don't like this head. That's ugly as shit. Sorry, I don't like to swear, but it just came out. Give her 2 trigger fingers. Now, let's say you want to use these guns. You are more than welcome to, as I've mentioned before. These are your action figures. So here you have this one here. And where's the other one? This here. But for me, I think that she makes a great base for a Buffy the Vampire Slayer. All right. So there we go. Marvel Legends. Now, before anyone goes on and asks, hey, what am I going to do? How would I make her into a Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Well, you could start off with using something for gridiron. Now, unfortunately, they don't have pegs. So you would have to cut the peg off. Oh, actually, that hair is in the way, so you'd have to use the ponytail one. That ruins everything for me. Boo. Anyway, wish they had pegs. I don't know why they don't have back pegs. It's too bad. Anyway, there you go. That's pretty in-depth, as in-depth as I'm going to get. There is so much. There really is so much here. it does show for 75 bucks, you get all this. You know, it's basically 25. You know, it's 25 bucks a figure with a lot of accessories, and people say they're accessories that are already been used. But it does tell everyone, hey, you can give us Marvel Legends for 25 bucks and give us a lot of little blast effects, extra hands, stuff you've already produced, rather than, let's say, this guy who is, I think, 28, and he only comes with 2 guns. Now, as amazing as he is, and he's a little bit bigger of a buck, it's disappointing that they don't do that. Give us a little bit more of stuff you've already had. This guy here, right? Awesome figure. They gave him a couple extra hands. I'm sorry, there's three sets of hands, and that is it. No spider webs. Why don't you get spider webs? You have a whole bunch of them made. Just give some spider webs for a $28 figure. That's what I think it retails for in Target or wherever you can find them. All right, that's it. Let's wrap this up. Okay, quickly before I get called out, his head does move up way more and down way more. I needed to loosen the joint, so that's just the retraction. So if you're wondering what I said before you call me out, it does move up and down more. All right, so there you go. That is my review. Hey, it's a little angled. That is my review of the Marvel Legends 3-pack, the Captain America, Dum Dum, Nick Fury Jr., and Sharon Carter. I actually think these bucks are really good. I think they're going to work wonderful for your SHIELD agents and your Marvel Legends, if that's what you're into. And I think they're going to work awesome for Monster Force when they finally come out. Hopefully they come out. Or for your G.I. Joe. Like I said, you can use this as a Cobra buck. Kind of mess around with them, especially if you're using gridiron stuff to make new Cobra Troopers. Or if you're going to do what I do, what I like to do is I like to create Serpentor's troops. It's the coil that actually goes back to the comic from many years ago, but the figure looks good. The fact that they are different bucks, so it's not just 2 of the exact same. The body is a little bigger because Dum Dum is supposed to be bigger. These guns, again, I have so many guns, but I actually like the way these look. They're just a little small and a little gummy, but I definitely am going to keep them on the actual figures. And then we have, again, this Sharon Carter. Unfortunately, I didn't get her in a great position. I will get better shots for the promo pitch as I do. Believe me, this figure, well, that figure can get into a bunch of poses, and this is the same figure. So other than different feet, that's the only thing that's different. But I'm going to get out of here. I've wasted a lot of your time. Thank you for sticking around. Like I said, if you're new and you're a Marvel Legends guy and not a G.I. Joe guy, man, I thought I'd straighten this. This is how I like to do my stuff. I like to show you firsthand. There's a lot of wonderful reviewers out there that already have the figures out. They have them posed. They give you these wonderful poses. But the question is, how long does it take to get into a pose? You don't know. Do I have to heat the figures up? I don't know. People don't want to tell you this type of stuff. A lot of them are getting free product and different things like that. I want to show you exactly what it's going to be like when you get the figure and you open it up. So that's how I do the stuff that I do. And I'm long-winded. It's all one shot. And that noise there, that's Roman, my dog. Because if you're not watching Monday Night Toy Ramblings every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you probably don't know who he is. I don't know why you're not watching. You should be. That was my quick plug. Here come the rest of my plugs. Guess what? We have a Facebook group page, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. There's 3 simple questions. Answer them all, and I'll accept you. Don't answer, and we just boot you because they're simple questions, so we don't get trolls and bots. Instagram, a Punk with Toys, there's 2 of them. Follow both of them because, well, there's a reason. I'm not going to get into it. Last but not least, you have stayed this long and I appreciate it. Please take a second to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop something like this. See, I can talk really fast. I don't have to take so long, but you guys enjoy it. I'm going to get out of here, but don't go anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a Marvel Legends review right here, and here's a playlist of all the Marvel Legends stuff that I've done, including a Galactus that no one seemed to watch. Take care.